Hi folks, Matt here. What I'm here to do is to give you guys a few reviews. Um, I have friends and family and coworkers that I've been recommending devices to. And one of the things that they've been all saying is that a lot of the reviewers do high-end, more expensive things, except for like RDAs. The RDAs are all right. Not a lot of people are into the RDAs. The people that are, they kind of know what they're looking for. They test around. They spend $30, $40 a month or whatever looking for devices. So they get what they want. One of the things recently was asked for was a good new setup. He was a guy coming off of, I believe, a Tesla and a Aerotank, ProTank, something like that. Um, and it was a Kanger product, so I knew he was thoroughly satisfied with at least Kanger, and it wasn't anything about China, like a mod made in China or anything like that, that he would be upset with. So I gave him a suggestion of the Subtank here. And this is the Subtank Mini, not the Nano or the large standard Subtank, and the Cloud 4 Mini. Okay, so what I'm here today to review is the Subtank. Now, the Subtank is Kanger's latest release of tanks. The Kanger Subtank and the Subtank Mini come with RDAs, or rebuildable sections, plus interchangeable purchased heads. You can also rebuild the heads. So a lot of that will be coming up in reviews in the future. One thing I do know is that it's one of the better flavor producers, better vapor producers, and this is from watching a lot of videos. But my idea is to come out to YouTube and come out to the different forums and to express my opinions of what fits into a standard budget of somebody who's not buying stuff every week, every month, every year, who's just trying to quit the traditional analog cigarettes. So, as it is for me, this little $70 setup, about $30 for this, about $40 for this, plus whatever e-juice you decide to use. Right now I'm using Duke Vapor Just Punch Me, so it's actually really good, and it's a really good flavor that comes out of this. It actually puts a big competition up to my rebuildables, Plume Veil for the flavor. I even have a K-Fun 4, and this is a little bit easier than a lot easier than a K-Fun 4 to build on and to work with, and it even comes with pre-built heads that you just swap in and out. The vapor, you can see, was there was a lot of flavor. The clouds are thick, dense, and flavorful. Very, very thick clouds. It's not wispy like some of your other devices that we've had in the past. I've been running this for some time now, and I decided finally I'm just going to come out and do a video on it and see how the public responds to it. Now, what I've been running it on is back and forth between my Cloudpore and my IPV. This is the IPv2S. It does have the working touch sensor up here, and as far as I'm concerned, I've dropped this quite a few times. I even lost a screw out of it, as you can see here. It really works. I'm not too thrilled about this with the screw with the screw on back, but it actually isn't bad for charging, so it's no big deal. But what we are here to do today is to review the Kanger Subtank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick unboxing. We'll show you everything that comes with it, give it a breakdown, and we'll go down to close-up view. Okay, folks, we're back here. Here is the box that the Kanger Subtank Mini comes in. It comes covered in plastic wrap. That's already been removed since I've been using it. It's another box with a pull-out. Once we pull this out, there is a little tension, how to fill it and prime it. Oop, wrong language. I like the fact that they do multiple languages on things, but their English could be a little bit better. It's more like a broken English, but it's understandable. We can understand it. So I do recommend using this and not dry burning or anything, but there is a way to replace the cotton and the coil in the pre-built heads as well. But for those who are more beginner, the heads aren't too poorly priced. They're a little expensive in some shops, but they're not too bad. All right. Then what you get here is your Kanger Subtank Mini. You pull this out quick. What it is, and it comes pre-installed with the 0.5 ohm head, which is in there. We'll see that on the breakdown, and your complete tank with a 510 connection to go to any 510 device. Okay. What's under here, let me put this somewhere. I'm not going to break it because that would be great to show how to use the new tank that comes with it. What you have here is an authentication card, how to use it, what to do. Apparently, China's having a problem with China and the clone industry. You have a little instruction manual here. It tells you the packaging, what's included in the package. Different features. These are the organic cotton coils. This is the latest revision of the Subtank Mini, so everybody's aware of this. I waited until all the revisions were done and waited for the first batches to come out and get reworked till I bought one. I believe this is still showing. This is showing how to rebuild. Most everybody knows that if you're looking at this video, you're probably out there looking at other reviewers, and I'm hoping you are. Looking at how to rebuild this. It's not a bad idea to use the rebuildable section, but what they do here may not always work for you and may not be what you feel is best. It's always good to try different things, try new things. It goes through filling and adjusting the airflow and everything, and we'll go through that in the walkthrough. You have your cautions and warnings of different things not to do and to do. And it looks like you have... Yep, you have a different language here. So what we're going to do is look what else is in the box. Okay, what you'll see here is a 1.2 ohm coil head, and if I pull this out, grab a syringe here. There we go. If you look here, it says 1.2 ohm OCC Kanger Tech. Gives you recommended wattage of 12 to 25 watts. Again, most vapors know where their sweet spot is. Sometimes they overdo it, sometimes they don't. Depends on the juice you have as well. If you have a high VG juice like I tend to vape, you can get into a little bit of trouble with some dry hits and things. Let me get the vapor towel out of the way here. Okay. What you also get is you get some organic cotton here. This actually looks pretty close to the Kogendo, which is what I used to rebuild with. So I've been using my Kogendo when I do rebuilds, but I left this in here for the unboxing. And what it looks like you get here is another coil and some more O-rings. Instead of the red you see here, you can change them over to the black, or if the red wear out, you can use the black. I kind of like the red look. You get a screwdriver for rebuilding. So these both really pretty much go with your rebuilding other than the coils, or other than the O-rings. And here's a spare glass tank section. I haven't had to use it yet, but there have been a couple times I've dropped this, but the glass seems to stand up pretty well. It could be due in part to the large O-rings. Last but not least, we will get out our rebuildable head. Now I have a build on here. I tried to duplicate what I saw when I first got it, and I took a picture of it, so I duplicated it, and it acts similar to what it did when I first got it. This is the cotton build I have, and I know there's quite a few ways of doing it, but this is the K-Fun way of doing it. I got to experiment a little bit because it's not wicking very well, but we will go into that more in depth when we do when we tear down the tank and talk about thumbs up or the pros and cons of this device. So let's get this back together and out of the way. Okay. So what we have here is we have our Kanger Subtank, or Kanger Subtank, the Kanger Subtank. All right. So you do have a removable 510 drip tip. I've tried other drip tips on it. A lot of people, A lot of people say that this is a little bit big and it's kind of pointless with the small airflow hole in there. I've thought about drilling it out. It could probably stand to lose a millimeter or two. So that might be something I'll show you guys in a future video of little mods I've made to this device, as I feel there are some mods that need to be made. Okay, so when taking this apart, all we have to do to clean this or to change the head is to turn it upside down, unscrew the head, or the bottom part, and you can take these pre-built heads out. Now this pre-built head, I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera. Let's see if we get some light in there. Yeah, there we go. Yep. There we go. Okay. So it's worn in. It's kind of dirty. It's still filled with e-liquid because I did just clean this for the review, so there wasn't juice in the tank. So what I will do is I will fill it up with other juice. One thing I've noticed about this, and I don't mind so much, is to change juices with the pre-built heads. I know a lot of people don't like flavor creep, but I can do it pretty well that within 5 hits I've gotten most of the flavor creep out of there. By the first hour or so, it's almost completely gone non-existent. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick a new juice that is not it's not the Just Punch Me, and this is just another one that's under review right now. So it's in an unlabeled bottle. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fill it around that stem there, on the sides, like that. We're just going to fill it. We're going to fill this all the way up so you guys can see it. And what I do is I usually leave a little gap here just so that there's a little more room in there. And then just turn it on. Now again, this is the 0.5 ohm head that was in there when I first got it. It's actually not too bad. I've been vaping it for quite some time, so now what we have is our filled Kanger Subtank. Okay, what I'm going to do is give this a few minutes for the juice to soak in while we go up top and talk a little bit more about it. Alright everybody, we're back here. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of sum everything up that we've talked about, some of the things that I like and don't like about this device, and why I think that this is probably a device, or who this device would be more catered to, and how I feel about it. Okay, it's a really good device. It has really good flavor, as you can see, really good throat hit, depending on the juice you have as well. The juice is very dependent upon the throat hit as well as the vapor. Let me take a drink here. The flavor on this is absolutely incredible. Flavor is incredible. Probably very comparable, if not better, than maybe the K-Fun, depending on the build you have. This really puts the high-end rebuildable tank atomizers and the pre-built head tanks together to a really good quality device. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. I do have a couple cons I'd like to point out to you. If you look in here, can we get it on camera? Can we get it on camera? There we go. Those airflow holes. Every now and then I start to get a dry hit. I have had it where I've had an incredibly dry hit, not thinking about my vape, just going along vaping, watching TV, and bam, it hits you. It's a harsh hit, but it goes away if it's primed again. And to prime it, I just simply and then watch the bubbles go up. Of course, I'm not going to catch that on camera here. But just like any other device, you drag on it or you look at it, you'll see the bubbles go up. And that usually tells me that it's primed. This is probably primed already, so there may not be a lot of juice to go anywhere. I've been rocking this on my Cloudpour Mini, which is a very good setup. Like I said, this is a very cheap setup, and my IPV. I got the IPV after I got the Cloud Pour Mini only because it's the IPV2S, so it's really good. I got the IPV2S after the Cloud Pour Mini because I wanted something that had a little bit higher voltage, or wattage rather. I apologize, a little bit more wattage than the Cloud Pour Mini. But the Cloud Pour Mini goes with me every day wherever I go. I kind of switch back and forth between the two. They both do onboard charging, so it's not a bad idea. This one's easy to battery change. Just slip the cover off and you're good. So for ease of use, I can switch the flavors in here without completely swapping heads. Just rinsing the tank quick after the juice is just all but gone. And switch juice, clean the tank, switch juices, and again, like I said, the flavor creep goes away pretty quick. Another con I see to it, as I would see, is some tanks you can almost use just about every last drop of juice. For instance, the K-Fun, I can use every last drop of juice to the point that I can turn it upside down or rinse it with water, and there's no nicotine, no nothing in there, no juice, no nothing. You can test it even. I'm sure there's next to nothing in there. These holes here sit up ever so much higher than the deck, and it's only, I haven't tested it, but I venture to say it's less than 1/4 of a mil. But this day and age, juice is a premium. We're spending a lot of money on juice, so if we're going to spend a lot of money on juice, I'd like to be able to use all of it. I'm not too upset, like some people have said, that you can't fill it all the way up, because I believe as this gets lower, the pressure in the tank changes, and this tank is really dependent upon pressure. So you need a little bit of air in there. I have to say that if we were to fill this all the way up, I'd be willing to bet you we'd get a lot of dry hits until air did get introduced. Every now and then I do open this to give it some air just to see if maybe the vacuum's holding up some of the liquid from going in, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's just the holes are a little bit small and it's causing dry hits. The organic cotton does a wonderful job of wicking. This is one of the first devices I've used that actually uses an organic cotton. That's kind of one of the reasons I got it. That and ease of use. Now the airflow on here I like. Not terribly 100% thrilled with it, but if you look here, this is wide open. Okay, you can see all the way through. It's detented, so you can see there's your next airflow hole. This is your smallest here. I'm hoping not to do what I'm going to give it a con for. There's the smallest airflow hole. There's the next biggest, which is medium, and then there's your full open. Okay. Now, one of the things I don't like about this tank is I'm more of a lefty-loosey kind of guy. My hand just feels to work better that way. Now, when I'm sitting here trying to adjust the airflow when I was testing it, and if you're one type of person that likes to do mouth to lung and then full-on lung hits, it's going to get a little wonky for you because it is kind of hard to turn. I've tried a couple times to get it to loosen up by just spinning it and spinning it and spinning it, and it seems to do nothing. So I don't think there's much of a break-in period. It is what it is. So that's my con for that, is that it could possibly open the tank depending on how you use it. I find that doing it on the device like this makes it even more impossible, and it gives you the chance to wreck the threads on not only your device, but the sub tank as well, because you may over tighten. Other than that, I can't give it any other major cons that I would not recommend this to somebody. I would absolutely 100% recommend this to somebody, and I have actually. So that being said, I think we're going to end this review here. If there are any questions or comments, or anybody wants to talk to me personally about what I recommend for a person with a budget, just email me or put a comment in the comment down below and we'll get it. One thing I do have to mention is where I got this and how much I paid for it. I got this at the PA Vape Expo in Hamburg, Pennsylvania, at the Hamburg Field House, and it was from a shop that's literally down the street by just a couple doors, It's really not far down the street, but they were there and they were had an exhibit there of a lot of their juices. And I do have to say their juices that I've tried were really good. I haven't tried a lot of them. I usually buy online and stuff like that, but I'm going to try to get into a juice review of juices that are within budget, that are low, probably somewhere right around the 5 for 15 mils kind of thing. $5 to $15 for 15 mils, like real low. Let's say roughly under $1 a mil kind of thing, because juices get pretty pricey, and I'm not thrilled about that. It's not in the budget, especially with somebody like me who goes through, especially with the Subtank. And that's one thing I have to give it. It's a juice hungry tank. I can go through, let's say, 10 mils, 15 mils in 2 days, roughly 15 mils in 2 days. So I'm not thrilled about spending a fortune in juice. I DIY some of my stuff. I buy some of my stuff, so you'll hear some reviews from in the future. And I actually have a few posts on the ECF and Vaping Underground. Pardon me, I forgot there for a minute. Looking for juices that are fairly priced that I can send these people to as well. My job is to be here for you, not the companies that sell this stuff. I don't want to sell you a product that's $200 if that's not in your budget. What I want to sell you is what's good for you. So if you're looking for something for under 40 bucks, I believe I got this for 36. I've seen them from $30 to $40 somewhere, rough average, right around 30 bucks. I think some places have it for. So I have to say this is probably one of the best I've seen. It's for the price range, for what you get out of it. If you reuse the heads without cleaning the cotton and stuff and all that, and then throwing the heads out for every juice or having a head for every juice, it's priced right reasonably. It is kind of expensive for buying the heads. I think they're roughly, I've seen them from $3 to $5. I really have to start making notes when I do a video, but right around $3 to $5. So if you're looking for one of the best devices I've seen to date, one of the vapes I like, and I've even switched from RDAs and RTAs to this device, which can be considered an RTA, but it comes with the pre-built head, so I'm thrilled with it. I think I like the pre-built heads better. I get more airflow from the pre-built heads than I do the rebuildable section. But that could be the way I wicked it. That could be any number of things that play a role into that. So again, do me a favor, subscribe, like this video, pass this along to your friends, pass my channel along, because what we're going to do here in the next umpteen months and years, I'm going to recommend to you only the best device for you, for your price point, for your budget. So if anybody has any devices out there and they want to see something done and reviewed, I'll spend my money on it and I will get the device. Just so everybody is aware, I am not sponsored by any company. I don't receive anything for free. Again, I've paid for this. I paid for this from a company. I paid for this from a company. I paid for this from a company. I pay for what I get. And when I pay my money for it, I want it to be good. And if it's not good, I send it back to the vendor and tell them, I'm not happy with this. This doesn't do what you said it did. So again, like, subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.